Good morning. In case you're wondering what I'm doing, it's this, is we had Bible study tonight. And as you know, during Bible study nights, we get home late. I didn't want to not give you guys a devotional. But at the same time, it's late, it's midnight. I'm going to do a ride tomorrow. And my bike is dirty. Not only, it's not so much that my bike is dirty, but my chain is dirty. I don't like riding with my chain dirty. So I couldn't clean the chain and do a devotional and get to bed quickly. So I'm kind of gonna do both, guys. I need to clean my bike real quick. I got a little dusty when I went on a ride with Chewy the other day, and even the day before that I didn't clean it. So I figure I want to have my chain clean and I want to give you guys a devotional. So I'm going to do both at the same time. I do have a verse I want to talk about, so don't worry. I'm not going to not talk about nothing. I am going to show you a verse. But that way I could do this at the same time. And it's actually a verse. It's a pretty good verse. Sharon's here. Say hi. Say can hear you.
Hello.
See you guys? She's here. She exists.
I still exist.
She still exists. I was letting them know that it's midnight and my chain is, I could feel it today on the ride today.
Can they tell it's different couches?
I'm sure they can.
Yeah.
We got blessed, guys.
What we did is we actually did a big old switcheroo. So the couches at the church were given to a family.
You got the other mic?
Huh?
You got the other mic?
No, they can hear me. So we gave the couches at the church to a young family, and then we got blessed at the church by Sonia and JD that just moved to Texas, and we put their couches at the church, and then our couches, we went ahead and blessed Nirvana, which is the rehab where Pastor Lydia works. We gave our couches because our couches would sit a lot of people.
Remember the leather couches that we always had?
Yeah, so it was really, really long and big. So we gave our couches to Nirvana. So that way more women can be able to
They have a lot of women.
Yeah, because they have a lot of women at Nirvana. So we gave our couches to them. And Hassan and his wife had a sofa and a love seat. And we were like, well, we'll take those. And so we kind of did a big old switcheroo, guys. Couches were switched all around. So there were 4 different sets of couches that were switched. And we're like, yeah, we'll take them, you know. I'm up for some change. So I went ahead and took their couches that they had because they were moving into another house. Hassan and his wife, they're moving into their new home. And I took their couches. So
now we have these.
Now we have these. So we were blessed with Hassan and Chrissy's couches.
Thank you.
Yes, so thank you so much. Yeah, so it's a blessing, you know. We're kind of doing a whole little switcheroo.
Yeah, so Sharon wanted more room in the living room.
Yeah.
And these couches are separate. The other one was the giant L, which is perfect for the women's home.
Yeah.
But these allows you to kind of move.
I've never been able to move my living room around, so now I'm able to kind of maneuver things around.
Yeah. Well, you guys can see the whole painting now. This is the original, guys. We have the giclée at the church. There's only 2 made. One of them sold. The other one's at the church. But this is the full. I think it's 5 feet by 4 feet, or I don't think it's 6 feet. 6 by 5.
It's 6 by 4.
No, it can't be 6.
Yes, it is.
Think of a 6 foot tall man. There's no way.
Babe, this is huge. This is a six footer.
Look, that would mean my stretch is 7 feet. That's impossible.
Babe, it's as tall as you.
I'm not 6 feet.
You're 5'9".
I know.
You're almost 6 feet.
Anyway, it's not really what I want to do in a video is debate on the size of that painting. It's just a big painting. So, yeah, I have a verse I wanted to talk about though.
Which verse?
It kind of pertains to what happened to me and Shui the other day
What happened?
when you had to rescue us.
Oh.
So the last time I cleaned my bike, guys, I wanted to really kind of deep clean all the crevices and stuff, so I took off my pump. This is a pump. I have never had to use it.
And the one time.
I've never had to use this pump, guys. And
The one time that you really need it.
yeah, I don't get flats because I put this stuff that John Silva, our bike mechanic, told me to put. He goes, you put this stuff, you'll never get a flat again. And I've had that. Remember I used to get flats all the time?
Yeah.
The moment I put that, I have not had a flat since. It's been like 2 years. And so, I put the pump back on, right? I thought of it that morning. When Brother Chewy showed up, I saw it. It was sitting on my aquarium. And I said, I should slap that pump on real quick because we were going to do 28 miles. And I didn't. And we left. We did 17 miles. And we were 11 miles away back from back here. And he got a flat. Which leads me to the verse I want to talk about. It's actually, I believe, in Timothy. Other than that, though, today was Bible study, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had a really great Bible study, guys, and talking about the Book of Judges, and the Book of Judges it's been an interesting study. You know, we're barely into our second week of it, and it was pretty good. Were you on the first one, or were you with the youth?
I was with the youth. Okay.
Yeah, because I kept telling you it was a good one, huh? Well, it was. That's how it was last week.
Yeah.
It was really. This Judges is the first one that's been really super interactive. I don't know why. Just people that's right there in the church. They're asking questions, and you know, it's really good, guys. So this verse is the one I want to talk about, and I think we probably covered this verse a long time ago, but it's worth covering again because of what happened. It's 2 Timothy chapter 3. That's funny. Yesterday I did the same chapter. I did 2 Timothy 4 and 4:3, but this time I want to talk about 4:2, actually the verse before the one I talked about yesterday. And it says this, it says, preach the word, be ready in season and out of season. Convince, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and teaching. Preach the word and be ready in season and out of season. I shouldn't have had this pump with me. Should have been ready.
Should have, would have, could have.
I've been carrying this pump on my bike. How long do you think I've had this? It's always attached to right here. At least
as long as we've had our bikes.
As long as we've had our bikes. Which we bought our bikes in 2017. So
when we got married.
5 years ago, yeah. And I bought this pump, and it's right. It attaches right here where my water bottle holder is, and I've never had to use it. And the one time I needed it, sitting here.
As long as we've been married, it's almost our anniversary, honey.
Yeah, next week.
Yes, every time we go to conference, it's our anniversary.
Yeah.
So we'll be spending our anniversary with our brothers and sisters for conference.
Sorry guys, I gotta put the simple green. This is the best way to degrease your chain. It gets all the old grease out. Don't ever oil your chain by leaving the old grease back, or else you just don't even bother then, making a mess. That will not help your bike. You need to have a fresh oil,
Fresh anointing.
a fresh anointing. Don't ever depend on yesterday's oil for today's ride. So I just let that soak in there. That's why I wanted to spray it, so it could soak for a few minutes. But you know, to be ready in season, out of season. What does that really mean, though? Does it mean to have a sermon in your back pocket? No, that's not what it means. It goes so much deeper than that. You know, it goes so much deeper, guys. To be ready. You know, it says, preach the word, be ready in season and out of season, no matter what, basically. So, one thing it makes me think about, I don't know if you think about something, but one is, for me, it means this. It means quit being a Christian just during Christian events, or just during Sunday service, or just during Wednesday Bible study. Are you ready to minister or be a believer or help somebody, or on a Monday or on a Tuesday, on a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, on days that you're not supposed to be ministry time? You know, like, to just always constantly be ready, guys, to be ready with whatever comes your way. You know, another thing that makes me think of is, see, this pump is one tool. Where's my little bag? Right here. This, I always carry this because inside of it are patches, a screwdriver, 2 Allen wrenches that fit everything on my bike, a tube, of course a pack of mustard, because it's for cramps if you don't know. Why do I have all these tools? Do I use these tools on bike rides? Sometimes. Do I use everything in here? No. But I gotta have the tool ready for the job. So what happens if you come across somebody that needs prayer? What about somebody that just needs a shoulder to cry? What about somebody that is in pain? What about somebody that is being attacked by the enemy, attacked by demons?
Or just somebody needs a glimpse of hope.
Yeah. What tools are you carrying in your spiritual
toolbox?
Yeah. So now, guys, with that degreaser, now I'm getting all with the old rag, getting all that old oil off, because you can't put new oil on top of old oil. It's just, I don't know if you can tell. See how black this thing is? Oh, I could ride like that with a dirty chain, but things aren't going to run as smooth as they're supposed to. Sometimes we want to live off of yesterday's anointings. We want to live off of yesterday's healings. We want to live off of yesterday's sermons, yesterday's Bible studies. The Lord is He's a God of today, guys. He wants to speak to you today. He wants to share with you today, you know, and I don't know, just...
You know what I've learned through cooking?
You want a mic?
Sure.
It's really easy. Grab that one.
Where is it?
Plug that in. And it's already wireless, so just put the thing on. She's going to talk to you while I finish this.
That's it?
Yeah.
It's on?
It's on.
What I've learned through cooking, especially when you're cooking for a lot of people throughout the years, I'm somebody who, even recently, these last few times, I'm somebody who doesn't like to waste a lot. And because of, I learned to cook through hardship. I always learned to do with what I had. And so that being ready in and out of season truly was very literal to me. So, you know, I would go into a place and cooking for people or doing for people literally meant you're going to be ready with what you had. And that meant that you were gonna do with what you had.
Yeah.
And you were gonna make it happen with what you had. And that's the way life is. You know, you go about your day, you go about life with what you have. You make life happen with what you have. You have joy in life with what you have. And you're content with that, you know. And I think a lot of the times, I think that's how life can be taken for granted, you know.
Yeah.
When we're not happy with what, you know, with what we have. And I think it's something that's so important, because when we start wanting more and we start wanting the things that are not reachable is when we set ourselves up for disappointment.
What do you mean, like how? Like an example.
Let's say when we live above our means, when we set our goals too high, you know, sometimes that's why it's important to set our goals, you know, make them realistic, you know. Set smaller goals so that way we can reach them, you know, and be able to make them realistic so that they're reachable and attainable.
Yeah.
You know, set smaller goals and reach them as we go, you know, and not make them unrealistic. So that way we don't set ourselves up for failure. Being able to, you know, I guess, you know, being somebody who thinks out of the box, you know, it's important as well. Knowing that, you know, if you can, thinking out of the box, being creative and everything as well is important, because it allows you to also be ready in and out of season, you know.
Yeah.
I think is important as well. That it's just part of life, you know. I've learned that in life, period. So I just wanted to just.
I was listening to a video of your old boss, Patrick. And he was, I forgot what the title was of his video, when I was on my bike ride today.
Yeah.
And he was saying how, and maybe you know this story, but he said that he owned a business. He started small. You were there in the beginning, and now it's like a multi-million-dollar company.
Yeah.
And he was saying that he would ride coach. Do you know about this story? That he wouldn't go on private jets even when he could afford it?
Yeah, he would.
Yeah, because he's
very humble.
Yeah, he was like, well, then.
Yeah, back then.
You know, I mean, but you know what? Let's be fair though. He's a little more extravagant now because he built that out of nothing, right?
Yeah, he did.
I mean, props. You know, props.
I used to be able to. I mean, I went to Hawaii with him. I sat at the table with him and his family and his dad and, you know, was able to, you know, take pictures with them and to enjoy, you know, very intimate dinners with them and the leaders and everything, you know, and
Well, he talked about maybe, okay, he said that he goes, I wouldn't take people to fancy restaurants. He goes, I would barbecue for them.
yeah, this is what we would do.
He would barbecue?
Yes.
He says he would get chicken or whatever, and he would cook it. He says, you know what? He goes, you know what that did for my team? He goes, yeah, I could have took him to a fancy restaurant. Why spend all that money? He goes, didn't it mean more that their boss was sitting there cooking for them?
Absolutely. And this is what we would do.
Yeah. So you know what
And
he's
those,
talking about.
And those are exactly the things that I was so used to. And I think that's why when I tried to go back, to renewing my license and tried to go back to the business after when they had the 11,000,
They're probably like, who's he talking about?
the 11,000 agents and everything, and we went to that, you know, gala in Vegas, and when we were walking, it was so foreign to me. As we were walking, I couldn't go. It became hard for me as we were walking. It's like I was walking to this red carpet event and I didn't even want to walk anymore towards it. Mm-hmm. And that got hard for me, and I looked at you and I just stopped, and you said, do you even want to go? And I was like, no, can we just go to a Bible study? Because I didn't even want to go there anymore. Yeah. Because it was something that I was no longer used to.
Can I tell them what you're talking about?
Yeah.
So in case you guys, you probably know who this person is. He has a huge channel, Patrick Bet-David. He has a channel called Valuetainment. He has interviewed, you name it, celebrities, scientists, people. I mean, if you look him up, if you don't know his name, you'll see. But this was Sharon's boss when he started. He mentioned the town where Granada Hills.
Yeah, we were Woodland Hills.
Yeah, so he mentioned someplace.
He was in Woodland Hills, guys. We started out of Woodland Hills, where corporate was at. Our team was in Van Nuys, and he did start out of Woodland Hills. And that's where we would go, guys. And when we first started, there was only 3,000 of us at that time. Probably close to even 3,000 of us. I was one of their top agents when we first started. I have certificates and plaques galore, being one of the #1 agents, and I would travel. I got taken to Hawaii, I got taken to trips and, different things and everything, and it was just a very close-knit family. It was beautiful, and I'm not saying that I'm very proud of them. I'm so happy in it, and I loved it. I loved being, I loved what they stood for, and I still love what they stand for. I love that they're big on life insurance. Life insurance is something that's so important and so great to have. I loved what I did. I really did. I believed in it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I forgot. I was going to say a point that he said. Oh, that he flew coach.
Yeah.
You reminded me of something, because he said that he flew coach, and he goes, don't get me wrong, I did first class, because sometimes other people would fly him or book him. Or he goes, of course they would buy a first class ticket. Or he goes, but even when I could afford a personal jet, I didn't do it. He says, until I reached my $10 million mark. He goes, then, okay, when I'm flying out, 7 times a month, 9 times a month, of course, it just made sense. But he says at that time, he didn't want to live beyond his means. And he goes, could I have afforded it? Yes. He goes, I added up what it would cost to fly first class. I times that how many times a month I flew. I times that by 12, and it came out to over $200,000. He was, I would rather fly coach and use that 200,000 for marketing.
Yeah.
Use that 200,000 to hire better executives, to hire, he was, what did I need that for? And I'm not sure why I brought that up, but you said the point of, you had said to not live beyond your means or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's way beyond the subject, but it just made me think of that video today that I happened to be watching.
Well, I think, like you said, to be ready in and out of season. And I think, to be ready in and out of season goes into simplicity, to be honest. Because it does make a really, really big difference because, when I go and I cook for people and everything, I don't have to go out and really have to go and start looking for things in order to make a big old extravagant dinner or anything. I actually just go and use what's there and just use what's there, and that can be what I'm trying to use as an example is like be ready in and out of season is use what's available is what I'm trying to say. Sometimes the Lord already gives us. He's already given us the tools, and He's already given us what we need. And a lot of the times we want to go out and keep searching and try to do so much more than what we already have and what He's already given us, and we want to complicate things. And that's the point that I'm trying to make. I was driving with David in the car one day, and I was listening to, what was it, Wilkerson? Is that what we were listening to one day?
Oh, David Wilkerson.
Yeah, David Wilkerson.
On the way to church?
Yeah, we were on our way to church, and I remember that he was just preaching a simple message, and he didn't complicate the gospel. And nowadays, everybody wants to complicate the gospel so much when it is so simple. So simple. It is just the word of God, and it's about sharing Jesus and sharing our testimony. And if you have a testimony, and if you could just share what He did in your life and just share what Jesus did in your life, that is all that people need to know. And share the love of Christ. That is how simple it is. And people want to complicate it and want to put in the Greek words, and they want to put in all kinds of Hebrew words, and they want to tell you what to do and how to do it, and they want to put in their 2 cents and 3 cents and 4 cents and 5 cents and even 6 cents. They want to put all kinds of stuff into it, and they want to make it so difficult for you to understand how simple Jesus is.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with those things, but when you use that to try to make yourself like you're above people, because it's kind of weird, because it's almost like saying, yeah, God, we're going back to this and that because you didn't have the foresight that this Bible would be in English or Spanish or German or Russian. God knew that English speakers are going to have English Bibles and Spanish speakers are going to have Spanish Bibles. You know what I mean? It's almost like saying God didn't know that people are going to speak different languages. The gospel's simple.
It's so simple.
Yeah.
It's really, really simple.
So, I mean, you're right.
When I sat there and I seen the other day, I seen a little 8-year-old girl with a megaphone on a Monday night on 9/9. It was so beautiful and it was so simple.
Yeah.
That's how simple the gospel is.
I loved it because Brother Joseph was saying, he goes, yeah, she was saying the same thing over and over and over. I said, she was saying exactly. He loved it because he goes, her message was, Jesus loves you no matter what you did. Jesus loves you no matter what you've done. Over and over and over. And out of the mouth of an 8-year-old, And sometimes we think we're gonna draw people to Jesus with this articulate words and
No.
oh snap. Uh-oh. You know, and here's a little girl with the same little message.
Yeah. And that's all it takes.
Yeah. I'm putting my pump back on.
Where did you drop?
I went under the couch.
Well, I put my 2 cents in, guys. Let me help him find his.
It's supposed to. It's a show washer like this.
How tiny. Oh my god.
No, it rolls over here. Somewhere right there. It's on this side more. All for this pump.
Oh, it's probably all the way under the
No, it's
couch.
probably right there, but that sure isn't. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Sorry guys, I know I'm boring you. I'm sorry. I gotta get this done. As you know, every week is important for this challenge to from San Francisco to Los Angeles. Nothing? There it is. Dang, she found it. Thank you. It was the tiniest washer in the world. In the world.
See what a nice wife I am?
So if you don't know what challenge I'm talking about, in February, myself, Cholo Trucker, a few other people. Cholo Trucker is another YouTuber, in case you don't know that. Gonna do this ride from San Francisco all the way down Highway 1 to Santa Monica Pier. Over 6 days, 450 miles. So, I mean, I've always loved riding my bike for the past few years, but this intensifies it. There's my pump. Anyways, guys, like I said, man, I don't know. I don't know if you got some out of this. Maybe it doesn't work out so well when I'm trying to do 2 things at once. You know, it's late and I needed to do this. At the same time, I wanted to do a devotional, talk to you guys. But you guys know on Wednesdays it's kind of hard because we have our Wednesday Bible study. And then, you know, we get home a lot later than usual.
And we had to drop off some food to our family and things, so.
Yeah, there's this little family down the street, and we just met today. So we've been seeing them for months, and drop something off for them. Yeah, but there it is, man. Pump is on.
Pump is on.
Hear that, Chewy?
Pump up the jams.
I'm riding with Chewy on Saturday morning.
All right.
Livermore.
I'll be gone.
He goes, you do the route, because he tripped out how I can make the things on the GPS app.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, you know, just be ready in season and out of season, and don't get caught without a pump. That's the lesson of that's the moral of this story. Oh, in case you want to know, firing minds want to know. I was told by John Silva, the Yoda of bicycles. He says, do not use any other oil than Triflow. And of course I listened to him. This is what I use to oil my chain. So I cleaned all that stuff off with Simple Green. There's no better way, guys, to get the oil off your chain or your gears or whatever. It'll degrease it, make it all watery and wipeable. And then I clean it with a rag, clean all that Simple Green off, and then I put some of this Triflow oil on it for bike chain. And I could feel it today, guys, on my bike ride. Trust me, it just doesn't feel as fluid, you know. But my bike's ready. So, all right, guys, have a good day, a blessed day. Get you a better devotional tomorrow. I promise you.
Enjoy your coffee, guys.
Enjoy your coffee. And tomorrow I won't be cleaning my. Hear that squeak? It's like the brakes.
Babe, you were in the middle of
Slightly rubby.
saying goodbye.
I know. You were saying good night, huh?
I was saying have a good day.
Have a good day, a blessed day.
Enjoy your coffee.
And enjoy your coffee. Put some cinnamon in. If you never tried it with cinnamon, that's old school. Put a little bit of cinnamon. You know that other day when I did that video at Pete's Coffee in Lake Tahoe? It wasn't that good. And then Sharon said, let me fix it up. You know how they have that little side with the sugars and what do they have? Creamer, half and half, and sugar and all that?
Mama always makes things better.
So there was like cocoa powder, there was cinnamon, then it was good. So, all right, guys. You hear that?
That's your bite?
That's the brake slightly rubbing.
Oh my God. My bike doesn't do that kind of stuff.
But that means it's adding resistance.
Wow.
I gotta look at that right now after I turn this camera on. All right, guys.
Bye. We love you guys.